How y'all doing? Yeah, I just joined. Hey, nice to have you. Welcome to the family. I'm just finna go over some charts, some things that you guys can look at, signals, setups, just a studying live. See what moves happened this week, what we could have took, what would have been a bad trade. You and Snipe have helped me a lot. Just need to put the work in. Absolutely. I always tell people, I'm like, look, you know, even if you like go and look at all these strategies online, right? It don't matter. Probably most of these strategies do work on YouTube, but it really depends on how when you get on that chart and you're by yourself, you're the only one pressing that button. So that's when all the emotions start coming in. And if you don't know how to manage those emotions, that's going to be the make or break of your account. It's not the understanding of the strategy, it's how you approach it once that time comes. When you're at the charts, all those emotions are running through you. Like I can breeze past, replaying and, that's easy. But when you get in front of the charts and you're live trading your money, all that stuff, that's when you're really tested. So I think that the most important thing to understand that people don't understand is the fact that it's not really a strategy game, it's a mental game. Just need to settle in on one setup. Absolutely. Yeah, I would say, especially starting off, I would settle in on one setup. Now, if you are not the type of person that's, over trades or is greedy, I feel like doing two setups is possible because I sometimes do two setups. I mostly lean towards pump coil dump, but sometimes I'll take a dump coil pump because I understand both sides of the spectrum, right? But if you just lock in on, just do it for like 30 days. Choose like sell signals, right? Mark your high of Monday and your low of Monday and wait. Boom. You see this big pin hammer coming from the high of Monday? Like I marked this Monday. Actually, I marked Friday because we were in Friday's range, but look what happens. Wednesday, boom. Sell, sell, sell. Like it doesn't even, if you just take signals and let those signals guide you throughout the week and you mark your high and your low of Monday. This is something that, oops, my bad. This is something that I kind of did, like it was like on and off, but I'm starting to really like it now, marking my Mondays, the high, the low. And do you see? You see what happens right here? Then we break out, but you're bound to get like 1 to 2 good trades a week just doing this. Like I got my Mondays high and my Mondays low. And you literally take signals. Now it's more to this. It's more to this. But I've noticed that just marking my Mondays and then boxes on the days. Now it depends on what setup that you're doing, but this is honestly pretty interesting to me. Just doing this, I mean, because think about it, price is always in a box, right? And you always see Stacy marking the high and the low of Monday and seeing how the week plays out. Because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, day 1, day 2, day 3, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Look at this: dump, coil, pump, coil, dump. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it does help to get specific, right? But if you can get to a point where you do this for 30 days and you follow all your rules, and then you get to a point where you're consistent, now it's just about, okay, I'm coming to the charts. What level am I at? What's the timing? And how's it setting up? I've been focused on daily reversals each day, but I might just start looking at the reversals from weekly levels. Yeah. Honestly, I think that for you, Eric, it's just about not trading everything and just locking in on something that you can hold on to. Because if you can't hold on to nothing, you're going to be trying to hold on to everything. Everything. You see a trade, boom. Then you get another trade. You see it's going back up. I'm going to get in on that one. That's where people really get liquidated. That's like, you get liquidated so fast because you're trying to trade the moves when you just need a good move. Just one good move and you just need to pack positions on it and boom, I'm done. when you say pick a setup, buy versus sell, you are looking for trend and reversal versions of that setup. If you're doing one setup, yes. So it depends. Like, let's say I only want to look at pump coil dumps, sell setups, right? So what comes with that is trends and reversals. So let me show you something really quick. Let's say this is my previous day's high, and this is my previous day's low. Hi, all new members that showed up. Hi. How are y'all? How are y'all? But okay, let's say maybe this is my closing price, right? And I'll change the color to green. So let's say I'm looking at this and I take pump coil dumps and I'm looking for a reversal trade. So at these levels, I'm looking for specific things. And if I'm selling, I want to sell high at all times. I'm selling high. I will do this, right? I need to see some type of pattern. If I'm at the previous day's high, like if we're pumping up, I need price to show me the reversal trade, meaning it needs to fail the breakout, right? And give me the pump coil dump, like so. Because I'm at the high, right? And I'm selling high. So I'm either selling from here, or let's say I'm not at the previous day's high and I'm at the current day's high, meaning I'm marking the high of my day and the low of that current day, not the previous day's levels. So I need to be at the previous day's high or the current day's high. Now, let's say I'm at closing price. Then I need to see closing price acting as resistance and showing lower lows. But usually, closing price will act as resistance. So I'm either selling high from the previous day's high, or I'm selling from the current day's high, right? So that's just something that I look for. Now, let's say I'm taking, these are reversal trades, right? So let's say I'm looking for the trend trade. Now, you can see it right here, actually, on this day. This would be a trend trade because I'm already on the backside. So let's say New York session opens up and this is the start. Then you're taking the trend trade because we've already reversed. So I'm looking for trend trades. Now, trend trades aren't really my strongest thing to trade, right? Because I'm more of a reversal trader. I like to see reversals. But in this scenario right here, like sometimes you'll already be on the backside, and then New York will open up and give you the trend trade. So let me just go to let's go to a 5-minute time frame. This would be a trend trade because I'm already on the back side of this move. It's already reversed at the high of day. So this was the previous day's high. But like I said, I'm either selling at the high of day or I'm selling at the previous day's high. This is confluence for me because we've already breached the previous day's low and made a lower low. So when we breach the bottom of the box, we get a lower low. We pump up. Now we're at the high of day. Asia put in the low. London put in the high, right? So once we reverse, boom, I'm looking for just a lower low to start my trade because we're already on the backside. So when New York opens up, we start dumping down, but we make a lower low right here. Like I said, if I'm on the back side, then I'm just looking for a lower low to start my trade. We pump up. New York session, the equity hour opens up at 9:30, right? We get this big manipulation candle, but we close down here below the EMA. And as you can see, once we get that lower low, we pump up, then we start going sideways. We start coiling below the EMA. We're respecting it. We haven't invalidated any other lower highs. So it's just about waiting until this 9:30 candle closes and taking my entry. This is my high, right? So if I know this is my high, about time 9:30 comes, I know that this high should not be invalidated, right? Because that's basic market structure. If we're going in a downtrend, I don't need to see lower highs invalidated. So once we close back inside, I'm in this trade. My stop loss is, I don't know if I would consider this wick right here. I would probably just put it above the high. Up to you. Sometimes I put it above the wick just to be safe and I'll add positions, but just put it above this high and then go for percentages or go for levels. So this right here is, I'm pretty sure this is the Friday. This is Monday's low. So we've literally pump coil dumped back to where the pump started, and I would literally just take it there. So this is a trend trade. This is a reversal trade. That's why it just depends. I see. Thanks for breaking it down. No problem. So yeah, because I know a lot of people get that confused, right? They're like, okay, if I breached a low, wouldn't this be a trend trade? But it depends on the timing. If I'm taking it here, right, I'm reversing from the high. I went from an uptrend to a downtrend. Right here, this is a trend trade because you're in a downtrend. You're not, reversing unless you're taking a buy low setup. But here you're just taking the trend trade. So these are harder for me to catch because I like to see this instead of this, Especially if I'm down low, my confidence might drop just a little bit. So yeah, that's just a difference, right? I like these a lot. I like these. I might take a trend, but they're just not my strongest suit. So, like I said, here in this illustration, if I'm at the previous day's high, I'm looking for that high to fail, lower low, pump, coil, dump down. If I'm at closing price taking a sell, I need to see closing price act as resistance, giving lower lows in the inside. And let's say I'm looking for a sell at the previous day's low. Then I'm looking for us to break out and create a lower low, right? Then we'll pump back up and then reverse. Boom. You see how that works? So I'm usually looking for setups like this, or I'm looking for pump coil dumps that fail at the high. Either way, even in this scenario, right? I want this to be the high of the day, right? So I'm marking my high of day and my low of day before my session starts, and I'm looking to see what's happened. So even if I marked it here and New York opens up, we've already breached the low of the low of day. So my low of day here, high of day here. When we breach it and make a lower low, that's the true lower low. Not only that, but you breached the previous day's low. So just add a bunch of confluences to it, and it'll make you a bit more accurate when it comes to these trades. For sure, for sure. So that's what I would look for, even here, right? So I tell people all the time that when you're taking trades, when you're looking Monday through Friday, a lot of the times Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is building up liquidity for the real trades on the backside. They're manipulating first, and then they're going to go in the true direction. So front side, back side. And sometimes even here, right, you get that down movement and then it's starting to go up. You're marking your Monday high and your Monday low. So when we're going up, boom, we hit Monday's high. Because remember, price is in a box. So when we hit Monday's high, this is 935. I'm waiting. I know I'm up high. I'm at the top of Monday's high, and we get a huge engulfing candle back down. Set your entry here. Boom. And you can literally take that. So that's usually what I'm looking for. I'm looking for trades like that. Trend trades that aren't at daily levels are very risky. Yeah. I've taken trend trades that weren't at daily levels, but it depends. Like here, we aren't at a daily level, but this was still a good trade. Like I said, it just depends on timings, levels, and behavior of price because, I mean, that's still a trade regardless. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on timings, levels, and behavior of price. If I already know we breached a low, then I'm not too scared to take this. As long as we're below the EMA, I clearly see a pump, coil, and dump, which is what price does. So I'm not too scared of it. It's just I'm not as comfortable as taking the reversals, especially off of daily levels like here. It just depends on your comfort. We breached the high here. I don't think there was a signal. Oh, this was a first green day. So after the first green day, we breached the high, which is confluence. We wanted to breach the high so we can get that dump, coil, and pump. So around this time, This is 9:35. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to sell after a first green day, I would not practice that at all. I know a lot of people do it, but me personally, in order to keep this mechanical, and if I'm going to take first green days and first red days, I do not want to trade against a first green day and first red day because those are directional bias signals until I get a first red day. So here, if I'm breaching the high after a first green day, then I'm automatically looking for a dump coil pump. So this would be what I'm interested in, not the sell. You can take the sell. I would highly suggest against it though, after a first green day. I would highly suggest against it. Just because look at this move. This is not as lucrative as this. It's just not because for one, this is a counter trend, right? Because we're going up. For two, like I said, it's a first green day signal. The signals give you your theory. That gives you your bias for the next day. Yeah, I hear you on the trend trades. I take the same ones, LOL. I've just had them reverse on me more times than not. And that's exactly why that's not my strongest point. You get what I'm saying? Because it sucks getting into a trend trade and then it's saying, boop, for the pullback and then the continuation. So it's all on your comfort level and experience. But honestly, I don't even really trade the first green days and the first red days as much as I do the close and breakout signals. I honestly like the first red days just because, I'm a pump coil dump type of person. Even here, like, this is Monday, right? So if I know that Monday is the opening range and Tuesday expands the range and I get a first red day that goes back inside of Monday's range and back inside of the previous weekly high level, first red day, I'm looking for pump coil dump. Look what happens here. Like I said, price is always in a box. So if I know this and I get a first red day signal the next day on range expansion day, I'm literally marking the high and I'm marking the low of day. And I'm seeing where price is at, timings, levels, and behavior of price. So if I know this and I come to the charts, this is 9:30, we get a big wick and then we close here. I'm automatically thinking sell. I'm not thinking buy, especially at the first red day. I'm at the high. I got a pump, I got a coil, and we get a big wick right here that closes right at the level. So I'm waiting for something like this, a bearish engulfing candle. I'm entering here. No question about it. This is 10:15. So my trades usually range from 9:30 to 10:30. That's usually when I see myself getting into these trades. So if you just like for me, I only trade indices and I trade metals. You'll catch me trading some currencies from time to time if I don't see nothing on indices or metals. But for the most part, that's what I'm trading. Because with indices, right? If you're trading currencies, you're looking between the hours of 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. So these trades could start at 8 a.m. They can start at 9 a.m. They can move at 9:30 a.m. for currencies. But with indices, I know exactly when I'm coming to the charts. I'm trading. Once that 9:30 candle closes, I'm looking for my trade. So it's not I'm looking in between and the hours of 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm not even looking at currencies until that 9:30 candle closes. That's why I trade indices for the most part, because it's not I'm getting on the charts and I'm like, okay, which 15-minute candle is going to give me the trade? It's okay, I'm waiting until the 9:30 candle closes and I'm deciding if I want to enter it or not, So it's a lot of people that trade currencies. There's nothing wrong with it. But even when Stacy talks about these indices, right, they give you that volume that you need to really compound your account. And not that you won't see these on currencies, but it's smoother It's faster. You're not waiting. It's less choppier, depending on the certain day in news and what's going on in the world, obviously. But these currencies, I mean, these indices and metals is what has worked for me and, made me consistent. To each his own, though. Even with stocks is, it doesn't matter what market you trade this on, whether it's stocks, crypto, forex, futures, it works on any single market, period. Any market. Reversal trades tend to give you more range on the day, too. Yes. And like I always tell people, most breakouts fail. Most breakouts fail. Makes it more mechanical. It really does. Just like for like first red days and first green days, I don't like to trade them off the current week's high. I like to trade them off of the previous week's high, like the weekly highs, because it's harder to determine the high of the week. It almost feels like you're picking a high. But if I go to the charts and I get a first red day on the previous week, and I've marked my high and low of Monday, and we're back inside the range, giving lower lows in the inside, it's easier for me because it's a predefined level and I'm able to work off of that. But it's harder for me to work off of levels that aren't there. You get what I'm saying? So that's one thing that's helped me as far as accuracy with the first ready, first green days. But literally, y'all, I've literally just been back testing a lot of stuff and it's just crazy. It's crazy how accurate this strategy really is once you get mechanical. Experience matters, but even if you just mark the highs and the lows of the day and you have your patterns, right? So was this wasn't even a close-in breakout, but actually, yeah, this an outside day? Technically, this is an outside day. I don't trade outside days. But let me show you guys something. This is perfect. This is why Stacy marks Monday's high and Monday's low. Remember, Wednesdays reset, so you redraw your lines. But if I know this is Monday's high and Monday's low, and I come to the charts on Tuesday, and I get this formation, right? And obviously we have lower lows. We get this lower low, we pump up, we coil, we hit a daily level and Monday's high and a weekly level. I'm not scared to enter this. We get a coil, I enter it. I'm literally taking it. You can hold it to the close of the day, but usually for me, I'll hold it to levels. I know we're going to make it down here because that's where the pump started. So I'm looking for sizable trades. Even here, this is the low of Monday. Stretch it out. You see what I'm saying? We get a false break from Monday's low and we close back inside of the daily range. We get a dump day. We get a false break day. This is a 3-day setup. The next day, look what happens. Remember, if I'm looking for dump coil pumps off of levels, right? We're at closing price. Closing price needs to be acting as support. So that's why I really like these levels. Now, all I'm doing is I'm marking my high and I'm marking my low. This is my most recent low from London. Not even that. It hits closing price. So when we make a higher high, because higher highs, remember, they start our trade. And look, we breached the previous day's high. Higher high, we dump back down. We're coiling. What time is this? This is 8:30. So 9:15, 9:30, we make another higher high. We dump back down, right? Honestly, if you haven't entered here, I would highly suggest entering here. We've already made a higher high. We dumped down. We've coiled. You're already on the back side of this move, right? Because we've already completed the formation. So this would technically be a trend trade. So let me go to the 5-minute chart. Let's see. I just scroll back a little bit. It was on a Thursday. Let's see. I got to scroll back just a little bit. Did I scroll back this far? No, I didn't scroll back this far. Huh. I don't. Oh, you know what? I might have to put it back in replay mode. Oh no, I've been scrolling past it this whole time. Anybody that's new, welcome, welcome. But look what happens here, right? This is 9:30 right here. Actually, you see this? So I'm not scared to buy this because look what happens. Right, even right before we get the higher high, we dump, coil, and pump, right? I already know I'm on the backside. We get a higher high again. We dump. Now we're coiling at the high. I'm buying that. We're already on the backside of this move. Now it's just about taking higher highs, higher high dump, coil. We're coiling on top of this. So when we break structure, this is resistance, right? Because we got a wick that's going down in price. So I want this resistance to turn into support. Boom. And that's what an uptrend does. That's literally what it does all the way up until it fails. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I decipher this. Literally, uptrends do this all the time. Breakout, pull back, trend, breakout, pull back. Now we're ranging. Remember, markets only do three things: breakout, pullback, trend, breakout, fail, reverse, in range. So if we start ranging, I'm out the trade. We also, this is this line right here is the weekly close. Outside day. You never heard of outside day, Eric? I don't trade them, but outside day is when you get a day that breaches the high and the low and close. I believe it closes back in the inside. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure. So we'll breach the high and we'll breach the low, and then we'll close back in these. So this will be an outside day. I'm not too familiar with that. I plan on making a video on it, but for me, I don't want to have a YouTube channel to where it's like people are trying to, they already don't know their setup and signal. And so the more that I come out with different signals, it's almost like they're looking at it. I might be more easier to understand, but I don't want people to like consistently be looking at different single setups. And I want it to sit, and then I want to get my feedback, and then I'll focus on what I need to focus on. But outside days are cool. I think I like inside days a lot more, which is why I have them on my chart. Because even here, no, this isn't an inside. I see a breached right here. But I like trading inside days too. What's up? What's up, new members? If you haven't already, like, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. We got a glorious week on US 30. I don't know why I didn't participate in this. This is kind of sad for me. Nice, nice. What's up, guys? If you're in my membership, please say something. I appreciate all of you guys who joined my membership. Yeah. So signals we had a close and breakout short on Monday. So just looking at this, right? Remember what I told you, most close and breakouts, they fail. This was a reversal buy low setup. So let's say I got Monday, right? Just mark your high. This is your high. This is your low, which was also created by London. You get to the charts. Now, this is if you're trading New York. You get to the charts. You've already know that you've been making higher highs, right? So once we get to the charts, this is 8:55. We're dumping back down. This is 9:30. 9:30 goes all the way down, hits the low, wicks the low, and closes bullish. I'm in there. No question about it. Let's say I'm nervous, right? I'm not sure about this entry. Remember what I told you guys. In an uptrend, resistance will turn to support. So when we break out and make a higher high, guess what we do? We dump down. Is this 10 a.m. club? This is 10 a.m. 10 a.m. gives us a pin hammer right off the high. Breakout, pull back, pin hammer, trend. Take it to where the dump started. Minimum. That's always my first TP. So you can either take it from the low once this 9:30 candle closes, take it, or wait for the higher high, dump back down, retest. Resistance is now support. Take it back to where the dump started. I have heard of it in Stacy's videos, but never paid attention to what it meant. Honestly, I would not pay attention to it if that's not what you need. I wouldn't even I wouldn't even look at it. And a lot of people do that too. They're like, I gotta watch every single video that Stacy drops, but you don't have to. You can just watch the videos that pertain to what you're doing, right? So even here, right, this is a close and breakout down. And then we have a first green day, which we breached the previous weekly low. So in my first red day and first green day video, I'll tell you that this is what I like to look for first green days. We get a dump down that breached the previous weekly low. And this is a Monday, right? Opening range. And then we get a first green day that closes back inside the previous weekly level. So what am I looking for? Showed you guys already, breach of the high, dump, coil, pump. Boom. Am I changing my bias? Depends on what you're trading. I'm not changing my bias if I take buys. So if I come to the charts and this happens, I'm not mad at it. Well, one, you shouldn't even be buying all the way up here because you're buying high. We don't want to buy high. But like I said, this is a closing breakout. And what do closing breakouts do? What do most breakouts do? They fail. I'm not saying that they all fail because some of them do trend, but a lot of them fail. And not only that, but look what we're at right now. We are at Monday's high, opening range. So just like I told you, I'm awaiting for timings, levels, behavior, price. I don't care what price was doing right before. I know that I'm at a monthly high. I know that I'm at Monday's high. And at 9:30, I get a pin to the high and then a huge engulfing candle back down. 9:45, 9:40, 9:45. I'm taking that trade. Sell. I'm putting my stop loss because a lot of people like to cheat their stop loss. Don't cheat it. Do not cheat your stop loss. I'm putting it above the high. I don't care. I'm putting it above the high and I'm taking it all the way until it shows me that it wants to reverse. This is the 5-minute chart. Usually I just take it to the low, right? This is the low of day. I'm talking about you got your money and let's see, this was 9:40 to 10:20. So it wasn't even that long. And ideally, that's how long your trades to start. And also, right, if price starts invalidating you, just get out because these trades should not come back. So that's how I'm able to manage my risk by taking less losses because I'm not sitting here like, oh, it's going up. I hope it doesn't hit my stop loss. Just get out the trade. Nobody's holding a gun to your head and saying, hey, you need to stay in this trade. You need to respect your stop loss. You don't need to do anything, right? Because, trading in itself is risky and you don't know what price will do. So instead of sitting here hoping and wishing, I'm going to take my profit and I'm going to tell myself not that I took a bad trade, but that my timing was off. Maybe there's a better entry. You get what I'm saying? So it helps my psychology for one, because I'm not beating myself up like, dang, I shouldn't have gotten this trade. I really thought it was going to go. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just saying, look, I just got a bad entry or my timing was off. That's all it is. It's just timing, right? So I mean, that's just money made. I think I took this. I'm pretty sure I took this. Pretty sure. But usually I'll take it level to level, right? So, and let me show you something else. You see this high or low that failed? Draw it across. Do you see why I say that? Because when we break structure, it will pull back and it will retest it because now it's a downtrend. And that's what downtrends do all the way up until it fails, right? So I would highly suggest doing that. That trade we missed because we were on NQ and it didn't push up and sweep. So we did miss this, right? I don't know if I feel like I took this, but I can't remember. Maybe I'm remembering something different, but I'm pretty sure I took that. Pretty sure. And I already went through this. Let's go to SPX. Let's go to SPX. Monday, we didn't get much. Oh, it was a close and breakout signal Monday. I usually don't trade Mondays, but you see what I'm saying? Most breakouts fail. They fail. That's why I like them so much. This is common. Hey, this is what you like, Eric. You got Asia making the low. You got London making the high. Believe it or not, you can literally screenshot this. This is a setup. This is something that repeats. Asia low, London high, sell high. This is a very common pattern. Very common. So look for Asia low, London high. You're marking your high and you're marking your low, and you're asking yourself, what side is price working? Right? So if I come to New York session, and usually I will wait for price to stop hunt. Wait for that stop hunt first, right? So this, I'm pretty sure, yep, 9:30. It will manipulate you. That's why I wait. Look at the close. This is the weekly close. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. My phone ringing. I don't even see it. Okay, sorry. So we wait for this manipulation. We get a coil at the weekly close and we get an automatic candle back inside the range. I'm in there. I don't care. I don't care anymore, y'all. I'm in there. Stop loss above the high. And a lot of people are scared of the stop loss, right? I'm not. Why? Because I'm only taking 2 to 3 trades a week. Because I'm only taking 2 to 3 trades a week, and this is a common setup because I'm being mechanical, I'm adding size. My starter, and I'm adding. And look. It just don't fail. You see this higher low? Mark it, draw it across. Do you see what I mean? When we break structure, when we transfer from an uptrend to a downtrend and we break this, look for the retest. I'm adding size. Boom. Take your entry, add size, and be in and out. In and out. These, you only need 2 to 3, depending on how much size you add. But I'm telling you guys, if you just get mechanical and you, for like me, right? I take closing breakouts. So if you just wait for a closing breakout, depending on the setup that you take, maybe you're taking reversal buy lows or reversal sell highs. But this right here, beautiful. Add size, be happy, and continue with the rest of your day. This is fire right here. This is my favorite setup from a closing breakout signal. So that was Monday. Monday had a great trade. I think it was good trades across all indices for Monday. Nice sell high setup. So Tuesday, look what happens here. Tuesday we get is the range expansion day, but we get a signal on the day. Now remember, mark Monday's low. Mark Monday's high, which is here, surprisingly. Are we up high or are we down low, right? So that's what I'm doing, literally. This is my most recent low. I'm waiting for a stop hunt. I'm waiting for a stop hunt. So this is the high that failed, right? Boom, lower high, lower low, break a structure, retest. We work the low. This is 935 actually. This is 930. This is 935. I'm in there. So long. Enter here. Honestly, my first TP will probably be at the high, which is super quick, honestly. But if you just put the stop loss looks big, right? All the way up until you see the reward. And like I said, it's all about adding size. You cannot cheat the stop loss. You can't cheat the stop loss. You can't. Put it at the low of day, high of day, add size. Boom. Makes a difference, right? Especially if this is your starter and then you make a higher high and then you pull back to what? Closing price, and you're retesting where we broke structure from. You get a higher high, we dump back down, we coil, we're on the opposite side of the EMA, right? We're on the back side of the move and we get a pump up. Maybe you want to enter here again, another position. And like I said, uptrends, you want to see resistance turns to support. And I'm literally following price in my trade and making sure that these lows don't invalidate. Boom. You're either selling high or you're buying low. No signal here, right? But there was a signal on the day and we were at Monday's low. So Wednesday happens. Wednesday is a trend trade. This is, let me move this line. Okay, we've already breached. We breached Tuesday's high. So this was a signal on the day. But once we breach it, we dump, we coil. Notice closing price is acting as support. So when it acts as support, look, it breaks structure here. Boom. Do you see the retest? I'm not advising to trade indices during London. That's on you. I don't trade indices during London session, but I feel like people forget basic market structure, right? And if I'm breaking structure, look for the retest. We've already got the higher high. We've dumped down. We're coiling. Support is, we're closing price is acting as support. So once we start going up, look, I'm already on the backside. There's no reason for me to think that, oh, I need to buy low because we've already bought low. We are on the backside. So when New York opens up, you're on the right side of the EMA. It's just about taking higher highs. That's it. This is the weekly close. Don't mind this. I think this is Monday's high. But regardless, do you see higher high? What time is this? 9:10, 9:15, 9:20, 9:30. Higher high. Dump. Look what we're doing. Resistance, support. You're on the back side. Higher high, dump, coil, 9:30, enter. Enter. Take it to a level. This is the monthly close level, right? And it literally does that all the time. Resistance, support, resistance. Guess what? Support. Resistance. Guess what? Support. It does this all the time. You just need to know when I come to my session, what level am I at for one? Am I up high or am I down low? What setup am I trading? Where am I at? Did the setup already happen? Am I already on the backside? Higher high, dump, coil, pump. We've already had that, right? We're outside of the daily range. We're in breakout. Boom. Higher high, dump, coil, pump. Higher high, dump, coil, pump. Doesn't matter. The higher highs will start your trade every time. Every time. Look, close and breakout. Reversal trade. This is the same pattern that we looked at right here, right? Here, we got Asia making the low, London making the high. Let's look over here. Close and breakout. We got Asia making the low, London making the high. So what does New York do? Where are we at? Timings, levels, behavior, price. I need to see my move, meaning that I need to see a high fail and I need to see it being stop hunted. We take some liquidity at the high of London. We got a low, we have a high, we're up high. I'm marking this across. In order for me to take the backside, because I'm looking for a sell high setup, I need to see this uptrend turn to a downtrend. Now, what do I know about uptrends? I need this to fail, which it did. We made a lower low. Engulfing candle. We go back inside. I'm taking entry. I'm not thinking about it. I'm getting in at levels. Levels. Even if you wanted to look at it like this, right? Boom. Boom. Doesn't matter. I need to see a pump coil dump. We got Asia low, London high. This is the same thing as this. Look for those patterns if you're looking for sells. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. What's up, new members? Whoever's new here, welcome to the live. We're just breaking down some moves that happened this week. I'm going to go to Nas now. Mind you, I'm only looking for 2 to 3 good setups a week, right? So let's see. We got a closing breakout signal, just like I said. And you know what's crazy? A lot of these indices do the same thing. Some happen before others, but Asia low, London high, sell high, boom. Then we had a buy, but this was not at a level. But remember, we're at closing price, and closing price is acting as support, right? So even here, if I'm at a level, which I am, and I know that the low of day is here. This is the low. Actually, London made the low. Let me make it more accurate. I'm waiting for a stop hunt. This is 935. I know that closing price has been acting as support. Boom, take entry. Don't think about it. Don't wait. You have to. You have to, because that's the only way that you're going to become confident in this, right? And I back tested this, and it's no reason why I shouldn't be confident in it, because when I'm back testing, I'm hitting. I'm like 80%, 90%. Like I'm going absolutely stupid. But once we make this higher high, we dump back down, we coil, and we pump higher high. Boom. So levels. If I'm looking for buys, closing price needs to be acting as support. If I'm looking for buys and I'm at the previous day low, I need to see a reversal setup, right? If I'm at the high, higher high, dump, coil, pump. Let's look at this one. No signal here. This is, pretty sure this is the first green day. We're at the low. Oh, are we not at a previous? Nah, I wouldn't consider this one, actually. We're not at a previous weekly low. This was a continuation trade, but actually it was a signal on the day, right? So New York had the continuation trade. But if you look, we breached the high, higher high, dump, coil, closing price is acting as support, pump. And then we get to New York. This is the trend trade. This is the trend trade. This is my most recent high. This is my most recent low. We break out, higher high, dump, boom, coil, pump. This is a coil on a lower time frame. If I go to the 1 minute, you'll see a coil because we got side-by-side candles. Nonetheless, we're already on the right side of the EMA. We dump down to the EMA, we get an engulfing candle, take your entry. This is actually 9:30, so you would have had to hop in. You would have had to hop in. You can get in at this level. When it breaks out, you can get in at the breakout level. Nonetheless, this does not make me scared to take this at all, right? Or you can wait for a higher high. It's all the way up here, but nonetheless, boom, you still get a good trade. Jesus. You still get a good trade. So that's what I would look for. Like I said, I'm not as confident with the trend trades. As you can see, sometimes it just takes off. But what stays consistent is the higher high starting the move every single time. Close and breakout. Boom. You see the consistency of this move. Asia low, London high. This happens a lot. A lot. And if you just do this, mark the high, mark the high, mark the low. Is it working the high or the low? What time is this? This is 8:50. This actually started pretty early. You would have had to had traded this early. Let's see what 9:30. 9:30 was this huge candle right here. So you might have missed this unless you looked for the 10 a.m. club. And you would have honestly had to have been on a lower time frame. However, if I see this pattern, y'all, this is like a no-brainer. No-brainer, because this is one of Stacy's setups, A+ setup. Selling high, Asia low, London high, boom. It's the same thing we just looked at here, right? coincidentally. So you can very much well look at this. Asia low, London high. It just happened earlier, right? But still, you actually get a reversal in New York because we break out the low, we pull back, we fail at the low. Mark your lower high. That's failed. Mark it, draw it across. Just this little thing that I'm telling you right now will help you, because that's what an uptrend, when it transitions, this resistance, this lower high that failed, is going to be a retest zone. So when we get this higher high, we pull back, coil, and pump. Minimum target where the dump started. Minimum. Doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. What's happening in your session? We're at the previous day's low. If I'm looking for a buy low setup, I'm looking for a reversal at the previous day's low. We break out, pull back, fail, reverse, higher high, dump, coil, pump. That's it. I'm not looking at individual candles. I'm looking at market structure. Let's say I don't know. I don't know how to read market structure because price is just, it's confusing. Change these candles to a line chart and boom. Right? Actually, it wasn't even that accurate for the line because it's saying that the lower high is here. Either way, you can clearly see the higher highs, right? Clearly. If I go to the 5-minute candles, I don't think it accounts for wicks. That's kind of crazy. But if you want to see your higher highs and lower lows, I usually just go down to a line chart. And when I go lower in time frame, it's not because I'm trying to get the best entry. It's because I'm trying to get more RR. That wick came after the open when I was already in the position, but my stop loss had room. I had $100 stop loss, and that wick went to 84 in drawdown, then took off slowly, but I closed that 1-to-1 by accident. You're talking about this wick right here, right? What time was this? 9:40? This might have got some people. I ain't gonna lie. This might have got you. Might have. Unless you waited for this one. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. The 15-minute, you don't even see that, do you, huh? You just see this big candle right here. Honestly, I would have much rather entered on the 15-minute than the 5. You see the dangers of going lower in time frame? You're more susceptible to make mistakes. Cooking on this live. Hey, appreciate you. Yeah, we got the W and close back above. Yeah, man. It'd be scary because when you looking at this, it's like, should I buy this? But honestly, if I see candles like this, it's screaming buy because they want to manipulate you. They want sellers to buy low. But we are smarter and we know that if price is down low, we'd rather buy, right? Buy low, sell high. I'm not going to sell low. I'm not going to do that, especially if I see a breakout pullback fail and we make higher highs. Absolutely not. I'm waiting. What time is this? This is 9:55. Sometimes it's better to wait for 10 a.m. club, but you might have gotten caught in that. That's not your fault, Eric. Maybe if you would have went into like 15-minute, you could have survived because you would have entered on this candle. You see what I'm saying? You would have put your stop loss right below and, you would have been Gucci. Yeah. That was a nice trade, though. That was a nice catch, honestly. I didn't got, though. It almost got it. Yeah. It be days like that, man. Let's go to gold. What did gold do this week? I typed that somewhere. I hope I didn't type it where I wasn't supposed to type it. Okay. So we got gold. Gave us a couple trades. This right here, I was not interested in trading this at all. I hate markets like this. I really do. It's unpredictable to me because I mean, you're ranging. So I wasn't even really looking at gold. Gold disappointed me. Gold disappointed me this week. However, you got a closing breakout. You actually got a trend trade on this day, right? But you got a peak formation in Asia, peak formation in London, peak formation high, peak formation low, higher high on the inside. I would consider this an ACB setup. It's the formation. If you're trading New York, you're looking for a peak formation high in Asia, peak formation low in London, higher highs on the inside, dump coil pump. But how I catch this, right? Mark your most recent high, which is here. Mark your most recent low. This high was created by this low. Are we working the high or the low? Boom. That's it. This candle was 9. Now with metals, right? This is what I'm saying. Metals, they move earlier. So you really need to start looking at 8 a.m., honestly. But if I'm already on the backside, which you are, because you've made a higher high, we've dumped down, right? We've already broken structure. Higher high, dump, coil, pump. This is actually a W pattern. But I love the way this is holding, actually. This is a perfect example. Mark your high. Mark your most recent low and high. This high was created by this low. Engulfing at 9 a.m. Take the trade. Don't hesitate. And actually, when you're trading metals, right? And this is actually in Stacy Book's videos. He'll tell you that 9 a.m. is prime time for metals. That's usually when volume starts kicking up around 9 a.m. Sometimes you may see it go instantly at 8 a.m. But a lot of times I'm not even looking until close to 9, 8:30 to 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. you get this pin hammer at the low. Take entry, stop loss below, and notice all of these trades, they don't come back, right? So if they come back, get out the trade. Hold it. And as long as price is validating you, and when I say validating, I'm talking about this. This is your low. You see what I'm saying? This low is not invalidated. We pull back, breakout, pull back, trend. I'm not looking at candles. I'm looking at structure. Breakout, pullback, trend, breakout, pullback, trend, all the way up until we fail in reverse. So that's usually what I look for, and it makes me more confident in holding these trades. But this was a nice trend trade or continuation trade, I will say, from a close and breakout signal. How to differentiate between a fake out high and a higher high, fake out low and lower low. Okay, let me think about that because I want to answer it the best way I possibly can. Fake out versus higher high. Well, let me show you a fake out and then let me show you an actual higher high. Let me find one. Okay, here. You can tell because it will not continue. So if I get, let's say I'm going up, boom, and I get a higher high, right? It fails and it will make a lower low. If this fails at this high, I know this is not a higher high. It's faking out. It's literally failing at this high, even if it was to go like here, right? And it pulls all the way back and invalidates the low. Look for the low. That's how you know here, right? This is a reversal. Higher high, boom, we fail at this high. This low is invalidated. Now we're retesting it to engulf. You see what I'm saying? So in order for you to know that a higher high is not a true higher high is if it invalidates the low. Because that's what an uptrend does, right? Boom, here, this low is invalidated. So you got the sell in London from the high, right? Here, this low, once you make this lower high, now it failed and we invalidate it. Boom, higher high. We dump down and retest that low and continue higher. I've been told that for a valid breakout, you need 2 full body candles to close above. I'm not too familiar with that, but if it works for you, for sure. I don't know. I don't like to try to add like specifics. Like I don't want to be too specific. You get what I'm saying? But I really just look for market structure. Like I'll know if I'm getting a fake out that closes back inside because for one, it'll look like this. So if I'm looking for my sell high setup, let me find a good one. Gold buys a lot. Even here, like it will literally fail at the high. It will not once you'll know it's a higher high because it'll break out, pull back above this and keep going. Just like it did here. This is a true higher high because we break out, pull back, trend. Boom. I just heard it from a support resistance trader. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Close and breakout. This was cool. What setups do y'all trade? Yeah, gold was just, I didn't like this, y'all. Now, this, I did not anticipate this. I mean, somebody did say it was a double inside day, but I don't even trade double inside days. But honestly, you had your low, you had your high, which was here. About time New York happens, you would have had to just press the button, literally. But if you notice this, you see what I'm saying? It kind of just happens the same way. How do you use daily charts on the prior day to arrive at a buy sell thesis for today? I just go off of signals. So these signals are daily signals. And the only time I use the daily chart is if I'm using the signals. I rarely go to the daily chart unless I'm trying to decipher a valid first red day or first green day. But I don't really look at the daily. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't look at it unless I have to, but I just take the signals. I take the signals, the daily signals, and that is my thesis for the next day. You see what I'm saying? I don't really look at it. High of day sell. Asia put in the low. London put in the high. Sell high. Lower low. Boom. Close and breakout. Asia put in the low. London put in the high. Do you see how that's a fake out? When price reverses, it will be sharp. It will not play around. It's going to reverse. Price breaks out and immediately reverses. But before that, you see this lower low right here? Selling high, high of day, breakout, immediately reverse, take entry. Gold reversals pay? Yeah, they do. Look at this one. This is gold, right? So we break out. This is a closing breakout. Reversal, buy low setup. Trend trade in New York. But we break out the previous day's low. We pull back. We fail. We fail because we invalidate this. This lower high, we invalidate it. Invalidate it. Look at Asian on that Thursday. Okay, 1 second. But we break out, we pull back, we fail, higher high. Then we just kind of coil and we make another higher high. But all I'm looking at is that we failed the breakout. We're making higher highs in the inside of this dump from the closing breakout short. Higher high, dump, coil. Look what's happening. Do you see that? Breakout, pullback, trend, boom. We break structure again, higher high. Now, New York session is opening. If I'm taking a trend trade, higher highs will start my move. We higher high, dump down to where we broke structure from, and engulfing candle. Not much of a trade, but super consistent. Just my observation. True, most of the times when London gives a buy and New York gives a sell. Okay, London gives a buy, New York gives a sell. We are turning around most probably from a buy into a sell. I wouldn't hold on to that. It's too specific, but I want to say yes. So, okay, so let me try to find it. You said London gives a buy and New York gives a sell. Here. We are turning around most probably. What do you mean by turning around? Like pump coil dump type thing or dump coil pump type thing? The following days. I don't know if I understand that question. Become sell trades. So not necessarily. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't try to guesstimate. I don't try to like, oh, it might do this, it might do that. I don't do that at all because I don't know what the market's gonna do. I don't know what price is gonna do. That's why when people ask me, like, is it might do this, it might do this or that, I'm like, I don't know. But I just remember what price does right before my session. I mark my highs, my lows, and I see what side it's working. And that's it. Like, I don't try to like analyze the days before or say, okay, this is this and this is this. I literally just come to the charts after a closing breakout and I say, well, we're at the high. I'm looking for my criteria. This is the low of day. What side is price working? That's it. That's literally all I do. And you see how we break out the box, lower low, pump, and dump. Love the closing breakout daily signal. GA was a great trade on Friday in New York. Would you mind reviewing that trade and walk through your analysis on it? Yes. GA. GA on a Friday. GA is a currency. So I'm looking from 8 a.m. Whoa. Friday, right? This was beautiful. This was actually beautiful. Like, this is like the best you're going to get. Maybe not the best you're going to get, but this is like beautiful. Why? Because you got a lower low from the breach. Then you pump. Now you're coiling. Literally. And look where you're coiling at. Lower low, lower high, lower low, pump, retest. We're coiling. Lower lows on the inside. This is like textbook. Great trade. If you took that, great trade. But this is like slight. And look. Closing price. We're making it resistance. You got all the criterias in your favor. And then what makes it even better is that Asia put in an M shape that locked in the high. So when you break out and you pull back to where you broke out of and you start to coil, lower lows on the inside of this pump, boom. What time is it? I'm looking at 8 to 9. I mean, it doesn't even matter. Stop loss above the high, short position. If knowing me, I'm coming to the charts at 8. If I see this, I'm entering. I'm not waiting. Even if I didn't, my charts froze, y'all. Okay, there it is. That scared me for a second. Stop loss above the high. I'm taking that trade. Minimum target to where pump started. Thanks to your videos, I had an aha moment. Yes, I love aha moments. I'm glad you got clarity. Appreciate you. Are you in my community? We love you in the community if you're not. US 30 closing breakout. I'm buying only if there's a setup. Absolutely. Discipline is the best way. Nice. Thank you, Faze. Your simplicity of approach has helped me break some analysis paralysis I had with Stacy's understanding. A fresh set of eyes into Stacy's head. Hegs. Yeah. You're welcome. I appreciate your support. And I will continue to drop these videos and add more clarity and more clarity. I'm actually working on something super special with my indicator. And I can't wait. But I'm going to take a second. Like, I'm going to wait a month because I want to make sure that this is valid. And if it's valid, Thanks to your okay, I already read that. At this time, I only look for closing breakouts and pullback, continue buy, closing breakout. Wait, I don't know what outside the O is or the D is after the closing breakout. And pullback, continuation, sell. So you take pump coil dumps or you take, okay, I think you take dump coil pumps because you're saying buy. Oh, no, you take both. You take both. Okay, but you take one signal. Yes. So you take buys and sells, but you use the closing breakout signal. Closing breakout down. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, stay that course. Stay that course. Sometimes students of the master explain way better than the master himself. Hey, you said it, I did. I actually been getting some wild comments. But I really appreciate it. I'm flattered, honestly. I think Stacy, like, he's brilliant. Obviously, he's brilliant. I just think that, when people get to a position to where they've already mastered their setup, right? And they explain it, but they explain it in a way that they would understand, or maybe how they used to explain it back in the day. When you approach somebody who's a beginner and that's trying to learn, and when they have to like go back to the basics, sometimes they're not as descriptive. So I think that he's doing a lot better with it because his videos are like more relatable now, and they're kind of like, you get the funny thumbnails, and you can tell like he's starting to slow down a little bit. I just think that as time goes on, maybe he'll get better, like tuning more to you guys and you guys' needs. But until then, like, consider me a student and a tutor, maybe. I don't know. But I'm glad I'm giving you guys clarity. This is awesome. I think that the most important thing when it comes to this strategy is market structure. For sure. For sure. Yeah, for sure. All right. I think he does it intentionally, kind of give away everything except that one key. You figure out the key. Yeah. You know what? A lot of mentors, most mentors do that. But for me, I feel like education should be free. Why should we have to pay for education? That's why I don't really want to come out with courses, because I'm like, why do we have to pay for education? Now, I understand paying for somebody's time. That's different. Time is way more valuable. I understand paying for time and services, but when it comes to education, that should that should be free for sure. That should be free. My opinion only. And like, I ran into like Stacy Burke, fans, and they're like, "Oh, you're saying too much and we've worked too hard for you to just give everything up." I'm like, "Bro, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like I'm supposed to gatekeep?" Long term. Oh wait, he gives you a map and breadcrumbs to the treasure, but he ain't going to tell you the exact path to said treasure. Yeah, I also feel like, he's put 20 years into this. So I can understand why he would want other people to like work for it, because we got to work for it. But at the same time, that it is what it is. Mentors, everybody got to make money at the end of the day. And if you're on YouTube and you're a creator, everybody knows you're getting paid, right? So the most important thing for me is to be genuine, be honest, because there is so much scamming and there's so much manipulation when it comes to trading, the trading world in general. Like, I get a lot of people in my videos that are like, you know, my comments are fake and it's just negativity. And I'm like, I can't even be mad at them, because there really is so much manipulation and just people that have your worst interests in this community. I've bought countless courses where I've been basically scammed, or they don't want to tell you the whole truth. And my YouTube is specifically for genuine, honest people that actually want to seriously change their trading. I don't want no type of like just negativity or gatekeeping in my community. That's not what it's about, because I've went through that so many times and I just hate it. I hate when people gatekeep. How do you use day of the week specifically to execute trades? When you say day of the week, are you talking about the weekly template? Write a book, Faze, and run it up. Man, I want to bad, but it's like, what new information could I give people? I feel like everything's out there. So I feel like if I make a book, right, I don't know if people would get value from it like they do my videos. I'm considering it, but I can't think of what I would do it on. I would literally just be reiterating what Stacy says, but in a more simple way. And I want to create value to a point where it's not, because I don't trade like Stacy, and I don't even trade like Snipe all the way. You get what I'm saying? We have our different similarities, but I don't know. It's something I'm thinking about for sure. Like he says, no one gets a free lunch. Absolutely nobody. And that's kind of what I want to touch on, because a lot of people, they'll like hold on to trades like this, right? And they'll hold on and then automatically reverse. And I'm like, well, this is why I will take my profit and leave. There's no way that I'm going to let this happen. Period. I'm just not. Unless I'm not looking at it, nobody gets a free lunch. That's why I don't try to predict. I don't try to like sit here. And a lot of people say, well, it's easy if you look in hindsight. Why would I try to predict the future? That's crazy talk. So you want me to predict the future rather than going off of levels from hindsight? Hindsight pays. I have a different folder for screenshots only for Monday and Tuesday. That particular day does the same thing every week. Do you think on those lines too, you can share it the following? Heck yeah. Like, it's just like how I extended my lines from Monday. When you extend your lines, this is what I want everybody to do up here. And don't do it in a live account. Back test this. And I'm only going to say it because I haven't done enough. I haven't done enough practicing on it, but it's so powerful. It's literally what Stacey's been saying, but he just doesn't say it very clearly. Mark Monday's high, Monday's low, extend it Monday to Wednesday. Wednesday is reset day. Redraw your lines. Wednesday is day one. Draw Wednesday's high, Wednesday's low. Extend it and see what happens. Trade off of that. So when you extend this, right? Let me go to a week. Let me go to a week. Let's see. We're actually Friday. Okay, boom. We actually are in a 3-day setup right here. This is Monday, right? I marked Monday's high and Monday's low. This is what you see Stacy doing, right? So boom. Monday, we actually get a first red day. We get a closing breakout, first red day trade. As you can see, it starts to sell. You get a trade in Asia, you get a trade in London, and you get a trade in New York. But do you see what happens when you break Monday's low, lower low, pump, engulfing candle? I'm getting in at levels. Forget the candle. Forget the candle. Get in at levels. Boom. And this is the previous day's low. We sell. Wednesday happens, right? Remember, I'm taking sell setups. If I got a first red day at the high of the week that we broken out of and closed and breakout, I'm not changing my bias. I got a close and breakout short. I'm marking the high. Notice this is the same Asia low, London high, right? So when we get to New York, guess what it does? Engulf, I'm taking that to the low of day. Now redraw your lines for Wednesday. You're going off of signals. You're not just trading off these levels. The signals will guide you and tell you when to enter. Wednesday's low. Oops. Here. Move this line. Boom. Do y'all see that? That's why I like this so much, because it makes things a lot clearer. So Wednesday, right? We breached the low, obviously. But do you see what we retest? I like that a lot. That's why I redraw these lines. So sometimes I only get 2 trades. Maybe you only even get 1 trade, but I'm way more comfortable to add size into these. Way more comfortable. Boom. This is Wednesday's low. That's Wednesday's low. Wednesday, extend it. Extend that. Lower low, pump. Guess where we're at? Wednesday's low. Coil, engulf. I'm in there. That is 3-day cycle. Yes. This right here. 1, 2, 3. Boom. That's a 3-day setup. You got a close and breakout, a pump day. Then you got a day that's giving lower lows in the inside. It's a false break day. A lot of people, so when you get day 2 in a 3-day setup, it will either be a first red day, and this is at the high, right? It's going to be a first red day, it's going to be an inside day, or it's going to be a false break. Those are the 3 things that can happen on day 2. This is after a pump day, right? And a lot of the times, I like my pump days to be closing breakouts. Pump day, first red day trade. Boom. Wednesday reset day, redraw your lines. What happens the next day? This wasn't a signal. It was a signal on the day. We breached a low, but we pull back, test Wednesday's low, sell at the high. Boom, lower low. We pump up for New York. Wednesday's low, sell. You got to trade, you got to trade on the backside, and you got to trade on the front side. Literally, you can just take one trade on the front side, one trade on the back side, and call it a day. A week, I mean. That's what I do. Even here, let me do it again. Boom. Boom. I come to the charts. Okay, this is Monday's high. This is Monday's low. I come into the chart. I automatically know that we've gotten a high. Look, I'm telling you, the same setup. Looks different, but I got a high in Asia, low in London. We pump up. We break Monday's high. Remember what I told you. I'm looking for this uptrend to turn to a downtrend. We're already up high. This is me going off of the fact that I like sell high setups, right? We don't have a signal on the day. For me, this was no closing breakout. So I'm not really, if I don't get a closing breakout, normally I don't take the trade because I like signals the day before. But this was a signal on the day. We're in breakout. So what I'm looking for is this uptrend to turn to a downtrend. So one of these higher lows is going to fail, right? So we make a higher high, we dump down to the low, and we fail. Boom. This is GA. Honestly, this isn't the best sell because as you can see, you don't get much range. But once we fail the high, it's pretty simple from then on. It's just about you entering. This isn't something that I probably would take because it's not giving me enough information. Because I would have my line right here. And you can call this a retest, right? Because look, kind of right here, honestly. This is technically a low that is made a lower low here. This is the lower low. It pumps back up, resistance, and then we drop here. But I don't really like this a lot. I probably would I have gotten this? Possibly, because there's an M up here, and M's lock in the high. But I'm literally waiting for a lower low and a retest of where it broke structure from. And I'm entering the trade. Stop loss at the high. So it may not be worth it to some people. But if you hold on to it, I mean, it's worth it now, right? I don't usually hold my trades till the next day. But do you see how minimum the pump is where you'll get out, right? Pump, coil, dump. Minimum target. We break back inside of Monday's range. We get a signal here. Close and breakout. Boom. We get a high in Asia, a low in London. We make a lower low. We breach the previous day's low. We pump back up. This is the high of day. I'm selling high. So am I worried about this? Absolutely not. I'm not worried about that at all. I'm not, because I'm looking for a sell, right? And I'm selling from levels, high of day, low of day, previous levels, closing price. So when I see this, This is 10:15. So I'm literally waiting. I'm not entering. I'm not chasing. I'm waiting for confirmation. Once we get back here, I'm entering. I'm just entering. Might as well. I'm entering because this is what I want to see. We are engulfing. At that point, it's nothing to think about because you already got the lower low. I'm looking for this. This is a stop hunt. Lower low, pump, coil, dump. Even if you wanted to wait for this, you got the lower high. We're on the backside. We've already reversed back inside and made a lower low. It's just about you taking the trade. Minimum target where the pump started. Does anybody have any questions before I just keep going and keep going? Look at this. Do you see that? Lower high, lower low, lower low. We're retesting lower lows, lower low, because you're down, you're in a downtrending market. It makes it easier, a lot easier. When you see it, you see it. So don't let the candles scare you, because it's not about the candles. It's about what it's doing. Boom, boom, here, here. Let me see. This would be a lower high, lower low. Here. Let's see. Here. Even if I was to look at it here, it doesn't matter. Let me not. I don't want to confuse people. Honestly, I just think that if you take closing breakouts, that's where it's at. That's literally where it's at. Look at this one. Just being patient, right? Closing breakout, sell high. I'm either going to sell the high of day or the previous high of day. Boom. That's all there is to it. Take entry. Don't think about it. Here, low, high. I'm taking entry. There's no need to wait. I have my formation. Even if you wanted to wait, lower low, boom, look what it retest. Where I broke structure from. Telling you. Once you understand that, makes it a lot easier. A lot. All right, let me get off of GA. How do you know whether to hold your London trade till the end of day or expect a pullback in New York session? I trade Tokyo and London too. I don't know whether to hold till the end of the day. That's something that you will have to, it depends on your comfort level. You know what the funny thing is? I asked my mentor this, right? I'm like, how does Stacy hold to the end of the day? And he even told me that he just started doing that. I would just get used to taking 50 pips and dipping. I call it pips and dip. Like chips and dip, pips and dip. Take your 50 and go. Don't worry about holding till the end of the day. Unless like you super confident, then yeah. But you see how we can just hold and then, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Nobody gets free lunch. Nobody. So unless it's one of these situations, right? It just sold here and then started coiling. You won't know. You just won't. Now, I will say that when we breach a daily, if we're at a daily level, all time frames are in the market, and then I'll be more comfortable holding till the end of the day because I'm able to get more range, right? We breach a daily level, all time frames are in the market. We pump back up and we dump. This will be a day for me to hold because we have breached a daily level and all time frames are in alignment. That's when I would hold. Use the EMA as confluence as well as market structure. Absolutely. Let me see something here. Does anybody have any questions? Anything they're confused on, I would love to help. Let's see. I'm posting my one-on-ones. Like if you would like to schedule a one-on-one with me, there's the link for it in case people need help. But that's the link. I just posted it. I'm going to post a link to my Discord too. If anybody isn't in my Discord, I'm going to post that. Copy. Go back. Oh, here we are. Nope, that's not it. There we go. So this is the link to my Discord. If anybody is interested, I have a free side, but either way, we love to have you. So I have a VIP side, and then I have a free side. With the VIP, you get the indicator, which I'm constantly updating. And then obviously I do live sessions and stuff like that. I do it for Tuesdays, I go live in New York. And then Thursdays, I'll switch back and forth between Asia and London. But it's a good time. So if you're interested, those are the two links for one-on-ones and for my Discord. But honestly, just following these techniques helps a lot. I didn't mean to do that. All right, cool. Let's look at one other pair. Let's look at Germany. German 40. Kind of moves the same. We get a 3-day long pattern. So Wednesday long, Thursday long. This is literally like the easiest one to look for, in my opinion, because all you're looking for is 2 days consecutively, of course. Anybody listens to music and trades? Heck yeah, that's my favorite thing. And I wish I can do that on my Discord. But you get 1 day that triggers breakout traders, 2 days that triggers breakout traders. And then that's the third day you're selling high. So on the third day, a lot of people don't wait for this, but you want it to trigger breakout traders again just to fail. This wasn't the best trade, but you still get the trade. Lo-fi, I love lo-fi. There's a lo-fi channel in the Discord. I don't know how to like work it. I've tried trying to like turn it on, but I don't know. Vice City Radio. I've never heard of that. Los Santos and Andreas Radio. I don't know why that made me think of GTA, but it literally made me think of GTA. And if we had that music, that'd be dope. I didn't know it didn't work. I mean, it probably does. I just don't know how to work it. Like when I built this Discord, I had somebody else helping me. So yeah, that's probably why I don't know how to use it. That is GTA. Yes, GTA. Oh shoot, I'm right. I would love that in my Discord. That'd be dope. Cause I really do be wanting to listen to music. I know it's distracting to some people though. Like when I did a post in my live on my YouTube channel, some people was a little distracting. So I don't want to distract people, honestly. It's crazy, right? How this is just so accurate. When you break structure, it will retest. GTA 5 and Andreas GTA. Heck yeah. Wait, did they already come out with the new GTA, or is that we still waiting on that? That's kind of crazy. I'm about to give up. I might not even want it anymore. Still waiting. See, at this point, like the hype is dying down for me. I was like really excited about it, but I still am, but it's I don't know. They taking too long. Look, this is Wednesday to Friday. You see what I'm saying? Redraw your levels Monday to Wednesday. Boom. Right? Now look at Wednesday to Friday. We hit Wednesday's low. We coil. Look what happens, London. This is Germany 40. Here. We dump back down. We get a pin hammer right at Wednesday's low. Boom. Level to level. That's why I like doing this, because do you see How you go from here all the way up. You can literally hold. Literally. But GTA always takes forever. They do. I don't know, but it's a fire game though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna hate about it. If they come out with it, I will get it. I don't even have the PS5 yet. That's the thing. I feel like I don't even want to buy games unless I have the PS5 because it just makes no sense. I need the PS5. Do I play games? Sometimes. I'm more of a Monopoly player. I'm a board game. I'm boring. I'm sorry. I like playing games online, but the only games online you'll catch me playing, and by the way, if y'all are gamers, let me know. But the only games I play online is Fortnite. I like shooting games. Um, I don't play not GTA, but freaking Call of Duty. I'll leave that for the professionals. Absolutely not. I will get murked. But for real, you only catch me playing Fortnite for real. I love that. I am a game person though. My favorite. I'm like a card player and I love Monopoly. Absolutely. I have every Monopoly game, literally, all versions. Okay, this is a perfect for 3-day setup, right? Look, we breached the previous day's high, pump, close and breakout. First red day trade. You can literally look for this. It happens. What if I just said I'm going to wait on this and I'm going to add hegs, a lot of size on it? I mean, you're Gucci. Even here. You see what I'm saying? When it comes back down, and this is the previous day's low, coincidentally. You don't really get the best trade in New York. I'm not going to lie. But if you, like I said, don't look at candles. Do not look at candles. Look at the level. If you look at the level, you won't care because it doesn't matter. I'm putting my stop loss above and I'm letting it run. I don't care what the candles do. Don't care. I don't care how ugly it is, to be honest with you. If it's validating my setup, it's validating my setup and I'm taking the trade. Now, where I would take it to, shoot, beats me. This would honestly be my first TP. Not going to lie to you. The weekly level, yeah. Maybe closing price, weekly closing price. But I literally just wait until price is invalidating or until look, this happens right here. You see that? How we failed this low. We went higher. Now we're retesting and now we're going back up. That's my sign to get out. Literally. I've been playing Palia with my wife. What is that? I'm interested in new games. Look how many closing breakouts you get a week. And I'd be like, how do people not want to trade closing breakouts? There's such an easy signal. Closing breakout, fail. Closing breakout, you have a sell and you have a buy. Closing breakout, reversal. Closing breakout, reversal. Closing breakout, buy. Closing breakout, reversal. Closing breakout, reversal. Closing breakout, buy. Higher high. Closing breakout, reversal. Buy low. Closing breakout, continuation. You see that lower low? Lower low. Closing breakout, reversal. Lower low. Sell in New York. Can you build and decorate your house and landline animal? Oh, you can build and decorate your house and landline Animal Crossing. Oh, I like games like that. I've watched every single video in every minute, but I feel like I'm still lacking. But does your Discord have more things I can take my own time to learn? So my Discord has, you get to go live with me Tuesdays and Thursdays. I also have one-on-ones if you're interested there. I just came out with a foundations course. Like it's like a 7-day thing where you get 2 lives with me and then you get a life skills coach building you a flow chart of like your entry. Exactly. Like it's like a um did this happen? Go here. Did this happen? Go here. It's like that type of chart, like an actual program flow chart. And then you get a risk management trading plan. And then I build you a playbook. So if you want something like that, that's available. But for my Discord, I drop signals when I see them. You get live sessions. We have a community of great traders, like really good traders. So you're constantly getting feedback on things. I have signal channels where you can post, like you can make your own playbook within the signal channels. Like if you're on the free side, you can still see the signal channels, but you just won't be able to edit it. But when you go to VIP, you can edit it. You can post your trades in there. You can get feedback and everything. You get my indicator, which is this. You get the screener and you get the levels. So it comes with VIP. And then I'm also adding stuff to it. So stay tuned for that. But I would highly suggest that you get in you either get a one-on-one with me or you join my VIP so that you're constantly getting feedback and pointed in the right direction. I got a couple of Discord members in here. They'll tell you what's up. But yeah. I would say, look, what's your biggest problem, Savs? Like what's something that like is confusing to you? Do you think it's mindset or do you think it's you not understanding the strategy or do you think that it's because you're not locking in on something? I don't want you confused. I want to point you in the right direction. Real talk. The value of VIP gives is more than worth the cost. Thanks, Eric. I get that a lot. I appreciate you. I honestly feel like it's not enough. So I'm constantly adding stuff, adding stuff. Wait till you see what I'm doing with this indicator, though. It's about to be fire. It's about to be fire. I'm finna add, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to DM you. It's about to be fire. Like, I was late getting on this live because I was talking to the guy that's about to work on my indicator, but it's quite interesting. So, yep, that's what comes with my VIP. But you'll see, like, the link that I posted in this chat on my WAP, you'll see everything that I offer. Everything. Look at this. Look how many closing breakouts, y'all. Boom. Let me find another 3-day setup. Boom. Okay, so we have one here. I'm trying to figure out why my weekly level's not showing. Let me see something. Oh, duh, because I have it off. There we go. Weekly separators. So you had a 3-day setup here. Then you had a 3-day setup here. And then you had a 3-day setup here. And then you had a 3-day setup here. And then you had another 3-day setup here. Like literally you get them every week. Now, it's up to you whether you want to lock in on one. But this is where it's at, y'all. You just need to be aware of what's happening throughout the week. And you can for sure get one good trade, close and breakout, first red day trade. Let's go to the next week. Close and breakout, first green day. This one was kind of ugly. This was bad. This was bad right here. This one, still kind of bad. I ain't gonna lie. This was a inside day. So this one probably, wouldn't have worked out as much. Let's see. Close and breakout, first red day trade. That keeps going. So when you get first red days, right? Those are directional bias signals. I'm not changing it until I get a reason to. Close and breakout, first green day trade. Boom. Close and breakout, first red day trade. See what I'm saying? Close and breakout, first green day, first green day trade. Close and breakout, first red day trade. That's kind of crazy how often this happens. Was this a closing breakout? No, this was a first green day though. I can consider this a dump day. I don't want to though. I probably wouldn't have looked for this, but this is a first green day. Then it gives you the first green day trade. I wouldn't consider this a first red day because look how big this range is. I don't want a range like that. I need something like this. Boom. Something with small range. It can't be bigger than the pump day. So I would, if I saw this, I would have just been like, oh, this is just a pullback. And look what happens the next day. You see what I'm saying? So stay away from first red days and first green days that are bigger than the pump day or the dump day. I can talk about this all day, y'all. All day. Close and breakout. First green day trade. Imagine you just waiting on 3-day setups every week and just taking 3-day setups. I'm telling you, trying to tell you right now, it's worth it. Why would you rather take random? Would you rather take random trades or would you rather wait for the high probability setups? The setups that is undeniable. Literally, you're at the low of week. You get a close and breakout. You get a first green day that traps sellers at the low of this week. The next day, I'm looking for buys. There's no question. Higher high, right here, dump, coil, pump, boom. Maybe I didn't see that. Higher high, I mark my low. Well, this technically would be my low, and this would be my high. Do you see what happens? Absolutely, you're able to ask me questions. I have like a channel called DM the Real Q Savage, and that's where usually people will be like, "Hey, can you DM me?" And I'll DM them. But I'm pretty responsive most of the time. But we literally look higher high, dump, coil. We broke out, breakout, pullback, trend. Simple stuff. Higher high, dump, coil, pump. Close and breakout, reversal trade. Simple stuff, y'all. This look like it's going to go down, huh? We got some stops that need to be hit. I'm pretty sure this is the first red day on German 40. This is definitely a first red day. You got a pump day, and now you got a day that closed below the open. I would be looking for some sells from German 40. Come Monday, I'll be looking for sells. We got a pump day. We got this previous weekly high, and we've closed below the open. This is the start of a first red day, 3-day template. Look how many, look at these stops. We had a high here. We pulled back. We failed at this high. We failed. That's a 3-day setup. So first signal. Pump day, first red day trade. That's what I'll be looking for. You got multiple days. When the market opens, it's March, right? Oh, shoot. It's going to be the first day of the month, y'all. I'm finna get off here pretty soon. I've been up here for about almost 2 hours. Like I said, if you guys need more help or you need more of these, if you want to see me trade live with the community, hit that WAP link. If you need one-on-one sessions with me, it's only like, it's 50 for an hour. So I do one-on-one, stuff like that. But my information's there. So if you need it, don't be afraid to hit it. Don't sit confused. It's too much stuff for you to be confused about. So my thing is I like to give people clarity. That's the thing. Once you get that clarity, I mean, you off to the races. Boom. I see that for sure. Let me see what I see on US 30 for Monday. Is it the same thing? Whoa. US 30 was so perfect. This was the monthly high. I honestly feel like because it's the first day of the month, I'm going to hold off. We literally, that was so perfect. So US 30, I have nothing for that. Let me see if I have something for SPX 500. Nah, nothing. No signal anyways. We already got the close and breakout first red day trade for SPX. But so far, I just see German 40. US oil is first red day, right? I was going to take that trade on Monday, maybe. Let me look. US oil is not a first red day. I don't see a first red day on US oil. It opened here. It opened above. It closed above the open. No first red day for oil. It actually is a closing breakout. I would actually like to see this fail though. Because you see this right here? You see this lower low? I want it to close. I want it to fail. I'd be looking for sales still. Like, that's my setup. So if we close and break out here, I'm looking for that sale for sure. Just be mindful, though. It's the first of the month. Gold will most likely climb. Yeah. I got gold going all the way up to here. I ain't even going to hold you. I don't know when it's going to get there, but I got this. I got gold buying this week. For sure, I got gold buying this week. So buys on gold, sells on Germany 40, and NAS. I don't got nothing for US 30, but NAS. We might get, I don't know. For NAS, I'm not sure. What level is this? This is not a level. Let me clear my chart up. Remove. All right. We're at the monthly low. Yes. We could see buys. We could see buys. Honestly, I'm not sure. Did you just, with everything going on in the news right now, I would be careful about this week. I think that gold is like, it's going to go though. Let's say you get a closing breakout signal a day prior. How do you figure out when the trade is going to materialize? Next day, next to next day. Like, you mean like if I get a closing breakout, how do I know if it's going to give me my setup or like how it's going to trend or reverse? Is that what you're trying to say? I already had Chick-fil-A. I'll still eat it though. Because the immediate next day. Oh, how do I know if it's going to happen the next day or the day after? Okay. I don't know. I'm going to be completely, sometimes it does happen like that too. But the thing is to just show up to the charts and still anticipate it that it's going to happen the next day. Because it could, and most of the time it does. Sometimes it doesn't. But those are the days where I just lose, you know? Or I won't even take the trade because it's not setting up how I want. So it depends. It depends on how it sets up in your session, the timing, the levels, the behavior, and price. If it's not setting up how you want it to, just don't take the trade at all. Just don't. That happens a lot. Closing breakout, inside day reversal. That's a 3-day setup. So if you're talking about that, then I understand why that would happen the day after next, because you're talking about a 3-day setup. Closing breakout, inside day, reversal. That is definitely a 3-day setup. So if that's what you see most of the time, why not just take the 3-day setup or a closing breakout reversal? It depends. Do you look for reversals after a closing breakout? That's why I said it always depends on what you're looking for. When does what happen? You said when does that happen? Closing breakouts, reversals. Yeah, it just honestly, you just need to pay attention to what's happening on the day. That's what is going to help you out. How does it set up? There are 3 specific things that I look for pump coil dumps. Asia low, London high. 3 session setup. Asia low, London high. You see how we're kind of trapped in between these 2 price points on this day? Would you rather sell this or buy this right here? That's why I marked this. Let these guide you. This will guide you. You see that? Asia low, London high. That's a very common pattern with pump coil dumps. Very common. Asia low, London high. Asia low, London high. Asia low, London high. We actually get a buy low set up here. We actually breached the previous day's high. I think here we don't. Here we don't. This is the high of day. This is the high of day. This is the high of day. This is the high of day, but we breached the previous day's high and make a higher high. Because breakout traders for him includes those days when it has broken out and failed on a very same day. I noticed that. For Stacy, right? Oh, Stacy has been saying something in his most recent videos regarding multiple days of breakouts. Has anyone figured it out? Meaning, like, if he's talking about 3-day longs, if you're getting multiple days where we're getting closing breakouts, and we're approaching a weekly level, then I'll look for it. Like here, let me find something here. You see how we get 1, 2, 3, boom. We wipe out the whole week's range. We literally pump through the weekly level and then boom. I don't know if he means that, but that's what I would assume, that you're getting multiple days of breakouts through a weekly level, and then at the high you sell. Monkey hammer template. Closing breakouts through a weekly level, boom. Multiple closes and breakouts, boom. Like, I can see if he meant it like that. But honestly, I would hold on learning that. Don't confuse yourself even more. Don't. If you don't understand it, don't try to understand it at all. Just leave it be. Don't even try. You don't need it. You don't even need it. Just focus on what you want to focus on. If you want to focus on closing breakouts, buys and sells, only focus on that. Don't even watch Stacy's videos if he's pertaining to something else. That's going to confuse you. You're going to try to add that. The best thing for you to do is hold on it. No, closing breakout is part of my tool. Now I want to add more to the. Yeah, I know closing breakout is part of your tool. Is closing breakout the most occur? Yeah. Let me show you. You see how many closing breakouts are up here? That's all you need. I can go to any single chart. Look how many closing breakouts. Look at this. I can go to any chart. Boom. Closing breakouts is the most reoccurring signal out of his whole signals. And that's why I traded. Because it's the most reoccurring signal. And because most breakouts fail, that's why I choose reversals. No, my mentor isn't Gakuna Trading. My mentor is Sniper. That's my mentor. Sniper and Stacy. I started with Stacy, I finished with Sniper. And then after I finished with Sniper, I was still a bit confused. So it really just took me doubling down on my setup because I'm gonna tell you something. It doesn't matter who your mentor is. Had it mattered, we probably would have all been rich by now. It does not matter how many videos you watch, who your mentor is. If you were watching people trading live, none of that matters because at the end of the day, it's not the strategy, it's people's mindset. That's the determining factor. And that's what I focus on in my Discord. It's all mindset. And if you can just turn the switch, you'll be fine. Doesn't matter. Imagine that, right? Like, even if you're, for people that focus on, do you win? What's your win rate? It doesn't matter. My win rate could be like 40% and I'm still sniping. Why I asked was, even he is a Stacy student. Gakuna, I've heard of him. I don't think I watched his videos though. But I'm pretty sure, I think everybody that's a mentor is a student of Stacy for sure. We all kind of started the same way. Some people just stick to Stacy, some others, like, I can't understand how it came about for me, right? It wasn't even Stacy. My husband was working at Amazon and one of his coworkers mentioned it and said that he does this strategy. And he was my mentor at first. And I couldn't understand it. Then I started to look at Stacy Burke videos. Still couldn't understand it. Then I started to look at Sniper. After one-on-ones and stuff, I understood it about 60%. But what really made me understand is countless hours of studying and practicing. I urge you to please look into Kakuna's videos. I want to see his videos through your eyes. Same Stacy stuff. And please do your sharing. I want to see his videos through your eyes. Like, you want my opinion of his videos? Is Gakuna working for you? Do you understand his videos? Is he like a new student or has he been doing this? Long time? Yeah. Oh, veteran. Dang. I'll take a look at it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like I don't try to jeopardize what I'm doing in any type of way. Like, see how you made Stacy stuff look like kindergarten stuff for peasants. You're not a peasant. You're just a student. I'm a student. We're all students. But I think that you're focusing on too much at one time. I think you got information overload. Want the same with his videos too. I'm telling you, the more that you bounce around to different mentors, the more that you will stay confused because everybody has their own way of doing things. I promise you. He has something from Stacy's head that is gold, pure gold. I'm gonna check him out. I am, but I mean, it's probably not gonna change how I view the market or what I'm doing. But if it's gold, then why not stick with what he's doing? The way he uses the moving average is wow. Is it 20 EMA? Are you profitable? That's the determining factor, right? Both. Oh, you're good then. Yeah. I would not switch that. Then I give away. I told you. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the mentor. None of that matters. What matters is what you do behind the charts. That's what matters. Like, he probably is saying the same version of what I'm saying, just adding his own little twist to it. Take one setup that Stacy and or your mentor talks about and just lock in on that. Literally. You have right now, I wouldn't bounce. If you like his trading, stick to that. Stick to that. Don't look at anything else. Pick out what you like from him. Hence, see you demystify them always. Thank you. Yeah, but you're confusing me though. So is he confusing or is he easily understandable? If you want me to demystify them, then I don't think that you're understanding exactly what they do. I will take the blame. No, nah. If it was me, I would take the blame. Remember, like, you don't want to keep getting different viewpoints on this because look, you already have to decipher what the market's going to do. That's why I always tell people it's not the strategy, it's you. We are the only variable in the market. Exactly. So if you understand what what's his name? Gakuna? Is that what his name is? Let me see. Let me see. I don't want to say his name wrong. Uh, okay, your mentor. If that's what he's doing and you like it and you're profitable and it's you realize that he has his gold and it's you, I would stick to him. I would not keep going back and forth. Don't do that. Not even with him and Stacy, don't do that. It's just going to confuse you and you're getting information overload. I promise you are. A lot of people don't even know how to keep it simple. Why? Because we as traders want to make things complex so bad. If you notice, even when you're trying to take a trade, guess what you're doing? Okay, this happened here. So I know we're at this level. And then this happened. And then this happened. But you're not even you're not even going through your criteria. You're literally just trying to justify why you should get in the trade without even thinking about the three things that you need to think about. Also, how many trades do you typically take in a day? Video on SI days signals. I got a video on that already. I'll check it out, but because I'm already a mentor and I already have my own thing going on, I think it would be kind of redundant to look at somebody else's if I'm already kind of solid on what I'm doing and I already have a mentor myself. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to put myself in a situation to where I'm getting too much information and then I like unintentionally start adding stuff to my strategy. That's not what I want to do. Need to limit your exposure as much as possible to take only the best setup. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the key. YouTube is huge. There's multiple people that do this. I know multiple people that trade like Stacy, but guess what? Stacy does his own thing. I do my own thing. Sniper does his own thing. And everybody else does their own thing. You're not going to trade like anybody else. That's why if you try to, you don't try to refine your strategy. Of course. Well, it depends on what you mean by refine. I try to, all I do the same thing over and over again. There's nothing to refine because it's not my strategy to refine. It's not. This is a strategy that is used by millionaires that are already successful. So me trying to refine it, it's kind of like, well, I never created the strategy. I'm just trying to reiterate it. The only thing that I can do for myself is to go through the week and see the trades that I could have took while following the same criteria that Stacy is following. There's nothing to refine. Oh no, madam, finding a student of Stacy is so rare, just like gold and silver. Yeah. I have used all keywords possible to dig out somebody doing Stacy's thing out of the depths of YouTube. How long have you been trading specifically this model? I'm going on my 5th month. And then you came. This is the angel, the halo. Appreciate you. Man, I've only been trading this for 5 months. Crazy enough. But I didn't start getting consistent until 3 months in. You really have to do the same thing over and over again. Do it for 30 days. That's it. There's several channels on YouTube that teach this. Yes, there are. There are multiple channels that teach this, but guess what? There are people that's still confused, and there's a reason for that. It's you. A lot of people scared to press the button. I see this, I'm pressing the button. I'm not scared. It's people that will look at this and be like, well, I need to see this and I need to see a retest and I need to see this and this and this and this. I don't do that. I take entry. Boom. Stop loss above the wick. People scared to do this because, oh my God, the stop loss. Look, the reward. Do you see Monday? Do you see the high and low of Monday? Do you see why I would take this here? It's what you're looking for. It's either you're going to wait for these opportunities or you're going to try to trade everything. Side-eyeing ICT traders. We're not saying anything about ICT traders, but I'm just saying. Eric, you said it. I didn't. Needing lots of things to enter. It's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people start off with ICT, but come on. The terminology they come up with, I'm like, that's just a break and retest. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great to start off with, though. How do I get better at spotting setups after signal days? By looking for specific patterns, right? And practice and doing the same thing over and over again, entering the same way over and over again, looking for something specific. That's how you get better. It's about what you see. I ain't scared. You a G, Eric. I'm right behind you. I'm hiding right behind you. These ICT traders, they get real, they serious. They real loyal to ICT. You say something and they on you and they come in herds. I don't want no smoke with ICT traders. I don't. They swear by it too. More power to them. I mean, it's profitable. Like I said, any strategy could be profitable, but it's up to the trader, right? If I know that Monday and Tuesday should lock in high. And then after this, I'm going, guys. I'm going. I do this every single freaking time. It's crazy. If I know that Monday and Tuesday locks in either the high or the low, and I come to the charts, and I'm like, okay, well, I know that I'm stuck in between these two price points. And I'm chopping up here. I got a high put in by Asia, a low put in by London. This looks like a trap and shift, right? We're going vertical, and then we get an automatic bear candle. Even if I go to the 15-minute time frame, this screams sell. It screams it. It literally screams it. You're up high. Trap and shift. Boom, lower low, pump, coil, dump. Yeah, at the end of the day, no matter what the strategy type, we are all only looking for the same exact repeatable setup. That's what I'm saying. Doesn't matter if you're looking for close and breakout, first green day, first red day, inside day, double inside day, outside day. Like at the end of the day, depending on what setup, whether it's pump coil dump or dump coil pump, we're all looking for the same thing. The same thing. It is up to you, genuinely, what you want to look for. Like I said, it's either going to look for the high probability setup, or you're going to try to trade everything. And you guys know what y'all do, just like I do. I'm not perfect. I lose just like y'all. The only difference is that I'm just better at losing. I'm better at losing. Are you good at losing? When you lose, what do you do? Do you go into another trade? You do know that your psychology level just dropped like 50% after a loss. Can you please explain the universal entry criteria? I sometimes messed up with my trades. Are you in my Discord? I got to get off, but I posted my link on Discord. Even if you join the free section, I just don't have time to on my live right now. But if you join my Discord, I will explain it to you. I've been on here for like 2 hours and 18 minutes. I'm going to drop it one more time. That's my Discord. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to join. I'm very active in there for the most part. General, I'm not as active. I won't lie. I have another founder. His name is Dinero. He's probably up here right now. Dinero, if you're up here, say something real quick. But he's more in charge of general. I do answer questions. It's just not as frequent as it is with VIP. So if you join it, just send me a message in the DM, the real Q Savage, and I will answer your question. Okay. But other than that, I got to get off, guys. I hope this was informal and I hope you guys got something out of it and leave here with a little bit more clarity. Other than that, I'm going to head off. Thank you for joining. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, do what you have to do. I appreciate you guys' support. And I'll probably do this again Wednesday. I'll be up here Wednesday. I'm going to drop another video tomorrow in my foundations. And it's going to be on inside days. I'm going to start doing inside days. I'm going to do inside day reversals, the video, and I'm going to do an inside day trend video. But okay, I'm going to head off, guys. Have a great rest of your night and 1% better every day. Like I said, if you need more help, I have one-on-ones. I have multiple things. Visit my sites, visit my Discord. We'll chat it up, and I'll see you guys on the next live, okay?